Hi guys, so today I'm gonna be doing this really bright, colorful cut crease makeup look. I have really been in love with doing these really fun makeup looks. So if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. So to start off, I'm going to go in with one of my ultimate favorites right now, and that is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation in the shade 460. And I'm going to go ahead and blend that in with my Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. Now I'm going to head and go in with my e.l.f. concealer in the shade Fair Warm. I love to use this shade for my lid because I feel like it really makes my eyeshadow stand out a lot more. Next, I am going to be going in with my new BH Cosmetics Color Festival palette, and I'm going to go in with the shade Groove into the crease and above the crease as our transition shade. So I am going to keep on building up the color Groove into the crease, and I'm going to keep building it up until I get the shade that I want. So it just depends how vibrant you want the color, and at the same time I am making sure I'm blending it out. So I'm blending out the edges, I'm making sure it's all really blended out, and I'm also pulling the color outward into a V shape because I am going to be cutting the crease kind of like a winged out cut crease, so I am pulling it outwards. Now I'm going to deepen things up a bit, and I'm going to be using the color Sequins, and I'm applying that with a really small brush right into the crease. So I'm making sure that I'm not going anywhere above the crease, and if I go too low it's fine because I am going to be cutting the crease, so that's okay. So I'm just going to keep on building that color up until I get it deep enough. And then I'm going to go back with my Morphe 441 brush, and I'm going to blend out the edges. I'm not necessarily going in with any more product. I'm just using whatever was left on the brush and blending that out so that it's perfectly blended and we don't have any harsh lines. So now I'm going to start cutting the crease, and I am using this really small brush for my cut crease because, like I said in one of my previous videos, I have a smaller lid space. There's smaller lids, so I don't like to use a big brush to cut the crease. This is just what works for me. So I really recommend that you find the perfect brush that works for your eyelid space. So as you can see, I start in the beginning, and at the top I go really slow because I don't want to work too fast or go too fast and mess anything up. So I do start off a little bit smaller, and then I can build it up if I wanted to. So just start off with the really low cut crease, because if you start off really high and then you mess it up or it doesn't look straight or clean, then you're just gonna mess up all of the work you already did before this. So all of that blending, you're gonna end up messing it up if you work too fast. So you do have to be really patient and work really slow. And here I am starting to wing it outwards. So it's essentially just as if I was doing almost just like a wing liner. So as you can see, I am going back into the inner part of the lid, and I'm just making sure that the top of the cut crease line is looking very crisp and very straight. So I'm just making sure that it is straight all around, and then I am just pulling it outwards. So you don't have to worry about the bottom part of the cut crease towards the outer part of our lid, because we are going to be putting eyeshadow there, so it doesn't really matter, and we'll just clean it up later. And here I just use the same exact technique for the other eye. Now I'm going to be applying this beautiful blue in the palette in the shade Denim, and I'm only going to be applying this in the outer corner. So I'm going to start building up that color in the outer part of my lid, and I am going to follow the exact same shape of our cut crease. So you just want to follow that cut crease line and pull it outwards. And don't worry about getting it too low in the outer corner, because we are going to be cleaning this up later, so you don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to keep on building up that blue until I get that beautiful vibrant blue color. So you want to do the exact same technique on the other eye, and it's gonna essentially just look like if you are doing a really thick wing on the outer corner with this blue shade. So it's just as if you were doing kind of like a wing liner. Now I'm going to be going in with the shade Electronic, and I'm going to go ahead and start building that up in the center of the lid. So I'm going to start applying that right on the center and build it up, and then just drag whatever's left on the brush onto that deeper blue shade, just so they can melt together and look as if they're just transitioning perfectly from that lighter blue into the deeper blue. So you want to just build that up, and like I said, whatever's left on the brush, you don't have to apply any product, just pull it outwards into the deeper blue. So now I'm going to be going in with the color Haze, and it is this beautiful neon green color. So I'm applying that with a really small pencil brush just so it can really get in to the inner part of the lid. So I'm building up that color, and whatever is left, I'm blending that into the shade Electronic, which is that aqua blue color that we applied before that. So you just want to build up that color and then blend it out. So now for the rest of the face, I'm going to be going in with my e.l.f. concealer in the shade Fair Warm. Wait, just kidding. I lied. That is not the shade Fair Warm. I'm going to be going in first with the shade Medium Peach, and then I'm going to go ahead and mix in the shade Fair Warm. I like to mix these two because I like a really bright under eye. This is just preference, so I do like to mix both of them. So I'm applying that, and then I'm going to be blending that in with my Real Techniques beauty sponge. And this is where I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning up our eyeshadow as well. So this is where I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning up all of our under eye and start winging out our eyeshadow. And this is what I find works for me. Every time I'm going to clean up my eyeshadow, I just use my concealer and my sponge. This is why I love to use the Real Techniques sponge, because it does have a flat top, like an angled top, and that is what helps me get right in there and clean up my under eye and create that very crisp, sharp line. Now I'm going to bake my under eyes with my AirSpun loose setting powder, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that with my Real Techniques beauty sponge and let that bake under my eyes until I am done doing my brows, and then I will wipe it all off. Now for my brows, I am going to be using the Anastasia Beverlyhills Eyebrow Pomade. This is my holy grail for my brows, and I am using the shade Soft Brown. Once I'm finished with the brows, I will wipe away all of the baking under my eyes, and I normally will not leave it on for longer than that because I do have really dry skin. So if you have oily skin and you want to really lock in your under eye makeup, you can definitely leave it on for longer. Then I will set the rest of my face using the same loose setting powder and a larger powder brush to just go ahead and lock everything else in. Now I'm going to go back in with the color Denim, and I'm going to start applying this only on the outer corner of my lower lash line, and I am actually going to connect it to the rest of our eyeshadow. For the rest of my lower lash line, I am going to be going in with the color Groove, and I'm going to go ahead and start applying that in the inner corner of my lower lash line and blending that out into the denim color. Next, I am going to be applying some mascara so I can prep my lashes for my falsies, and I am using my favorite lashes at the moment, and that is the EYLURE lashes in the style Marquise. I like to apply my falsies with a tweezer because that is just what has worked good for me. So I like to apply the outer part of the lashes and then work inward. And to finish off the eyes, I am going to be applying some mascara on my lower lashes. Now to bronze up my face, I am going to be using the shade Hoola and Hoola Caramel from my Cheekleaders palette. And I do love to use the brush that it came with in the palette because I feel like with this brush, it gives me a more chiseled, bronzy look. Almost as if you contoured, but I didn't have to do all that. And for blush, I am going to be using the blush in the palette in Coralista. And lastly, I am going to be showering myself with this highlighter in the palette in the shade Cookie. And this highlighter is so beautiful. I'm obsessed with it. Moving on to lips, I'm going to be going in with this Morphe liquid lipstick in the shade Virgin. This is the perfect peachy nude for me. Every time I don't know what lip color to use, I will grab this because I know it's going to match pretty much any look that I do. And that is going to be it for this look. I hope you guys enjoyed it and thank you so much for watching.